Our obsession with death and the afterlife has been going on for millennia, for numerous reasons. Perhaps it's the survival instinct, perhaps it's fear that this is simply all there is. Burial practices have been going on as far back as the Neanderthals. Seances. The word séance, by the way, comes from the French word for session, derived from the old French term meaning to sit, became popular and professional in the mid-1700s. Paranormal investigations became popular in the mid-1800s, and the Society for Psychical Research was formed in 1882. We have an explicit and overt obsession with trying to find out what is on the other side. Perhaps it's to try and find out why we're here. Perhaps it's to try and contact a loved one who has passed on. You may have your own reasons. I myself am into this because really I want to try and find out what actually is there beyond. Is some of the evidence that's out there true? Is there real evidence wherever we go of the supernatural? Now, like history, evidence of the supernatural can be anywhere according to some. In fact, even in the most unassuming places, there could be restless spirits. We're here in Hedon today to try and find evidence of those restless spirits, and we're here for one building in particular. Hedon is located in the East Riding of Yorkshire. The word Yorkshire was first derived from the Latin word Eboracum, meaning place of yew trees. The Vikings then called York Jorvik, meaning wild boar bay. They then split the county into 3 ridings, with ridings coming from the Norse word ridings, meaning a third. These 3 ridings were the North, West and East ridings. After the Local Government Act of 1972, Yorkshire was then split into North, West and South Yorkshire, as well as East Riding and the Humber. The word Humber could possibly have Brittonic origins and could have meant good water. It was much larger during the Ice Age and has been an important part of transport and trade, especially for North East England. Hedon was known as Haven, as the port helped protect travellers against the tide of the Humber. Hedon was at one point one of the busiest ports in the country, which was established in the Norman period and was at one point the most important in Holderness. The name comes from the Old English words Heia, meaning high, and Dun, meaning hill. Holderness was marshland until it was drained in the Middle Ages, and the word is thought to come from the Old Norse words Holder, meaning nobleman, and Ness, meaning headland. One of the most important and famous sites here includes the Church of St. Augustine. It's a Grade 1 listed building, and the earliest part of the church dates back to 1190. The tower was added in 1428. There have been some interesting ghost stories from Hedon, including stories of a ghost plane. Even more interesting is that on the 17th of July 1935, a plane did actually crash near Hedon at farmland in the nearby Westfield area. Hedon was also attacked by Zeppelins at 1 AM on the 22nd of August 1917. We're here today to investigate Hedon Town Hall. This Grade 2 listed building was constructed between 1692 and 3 and paid for by the MP Henry Guy. It also served as a courtroom for petty sessions, as in minor crimes, and was a lockup for a period of time too. So we're here in Hedon Town Hall, and specifically we're in the council chambers right now. And so, if you'd just like to reintroduce yourselves for us, if you'd just like to go through who we've got here today then.
So we're W4 Paranormal. You've got myself, Carly, we've got Holly and Gemma.
And we've already had a little bit of a look through before we properly started the investigation. What sort of equipment did you use and what has come up that's been quite interesting?
So we've got the Hexcom Anomalous going, which has already started with quite a lot of, we've got some names already and some really good words coming through. We've got a Solstice box set up, which is not as loud as it normally is. We've got Boo Buddy this time. True faithful of Beelzebub's just come through. He's always here. And we've got our EMF readers, and we've got a Melrem this time as well.
Awesome. So we've talked about some of the EMF readers, for example, but I think the one question I've got right now is, what is the purpose of this teddy bear?
Boo Buddy's really good. So he'll ask questions, and then if he gets any sort of interaction, you can hear him. So it's not always paranormal, so he might turn around and say that it's getting warm in here, but that could just be because we're here.
Yeah,
so,
body heat, yeah.
But anything where it says, this is ticklish, and nobody's touching him,
it could indicate there's something physical that we can't see.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think the first question is then, let's get cracking. Where do we start with investigating? So we'll start in here, we'll start on this half and then the bench half.
Yep.
Then we'll do the mayor's parlour, then we'll do the loft, then a bit downstairs, and then the final room, which I'll reveal to you what actually that used to be used for.
Yep.
But I'll take your lead. Where do we start with investigation? What do we do first then?
So, well, we've got the dictionaries going with the Ovulus and the Hexcom going already. We can turn the solstice on so we can hear it, because we've turned that off ready.
Yeah.
Might drown Boo Bubby out a bit though. We can ask some questions, see if we can get some answers on the EMF as well, and we do have the REM pod set up at the other side of the room.
Right.
So we'll see if anything interacts with that as well.
Should we ask a few questions then?
Yeah.
Should we set the solstice up, did you say?
Yep, so we can turn that on.
Should we turn the solstice on and then should we ask a few questions?
Yep.
Yeah? If you want to turn that on, if that's alright then.
We're having major problems with our equipment today, which is always a good sign.
What does that indicate if there's major problems?
Well, we've already had 2 voice recorders that were fully charged go flat.
Yeesh.
This is normally quite active, and it's very quiet, and it's not working properly at all, which is quite good.
Well, does interference with technology indicate something?
So, what it suggests is if spirits are really there, are they gaining all the energy to try and manifest?
Ah, right.
So hopefully we might get manifestation.
Interesting. So let's ask a couple of questions then, shall we? So what would we first ask then, if you're right to...
So, well, what we can ask is the traditional, if there's anybody there, come and talk to us. And we'll see if we get any response on any of the equipment. I mean, that is not normal for that to be like that.
What would that normally do then?
That would start shouting out names quite a lot. And you'd get like talking coming through all the time. That is very quiet. What we might do is get Holly to put the earphones on and do a sensory one again.
Sure, yeah. So that would involve the particular device there? Or
Yeah,
is it,
yeah, so the spirit box, it'll search, it quickly scans radio channels.
Yep.
But what Holly can do is she can listen to it.
Right.
We can ask the questions out. She
Yep.
can't hear what we ask.
Yep.
And we might get, but we'll be able to hear Boo Buddy a bit better as well. We've also had Demon come through.
Demon, that's a good one. We've had Beelzebub, we've had Demon.
Yeah, we like Demon.
They're promising words to come through.
We get them quite often, to be honest. Yeah.
Teacher.
Teacher. Another teacher. For the record, we do actually have a teacher present. Now, we have come to the end of the 15 minutes here. Now, given what you just told me regarding building up energy, would it be worthwhile staying here a bit longer, do you think? Or do we just have to be in the same room?
Same room, preferably,
Same room.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I'd suggest now is if we then go over to the other side. So now we're on the other side, towards the bench side. We turn the solstice back on.
Yep.
And it's now making noise.
It's just miraculously started working, yeah.
Well, actually, what does that pick up?
That picks up, we believe, spirits chatting.
Chatting. Oh, I quite like that. It's almost like we're hearing along some gossip. And what is this that's right in front of us here then?
This is a REM pod, so this will pick up, it sort of emits an electromagnetic field, so if anything goes near it, it will light up. Same as like, the more pressure, the more it'll light up. So something's already interacting with Boo Buddy. We've also got Holly, who's going to listen to the spirit box.
Yep.
She'll not be able to hear what we're saying.
Right.
And some questions and answers might come through through Holly. So it's more of a sensory experiment.
Right, yeah.
So she normally closes her eyes with it, so we have to tell her when we're finished.
Yeah, I'm not asleep.
We could start with that then if you want. Yeah.
Hi, so if there's any children here who want to come and talk to us, please come and say hello. You can play with the green lights, you can play with the teddy bear.
Calm down.
Calm down.
It can be a bit spooky, can't it?
Can be a little bit spooky.
Bangkok.
Bangkok.
That's an interesting one. Bangkok.
If you're here and you can't make one of these light up, can you make a noise? Veronica, we're getting a lot of names through. It seems very weird at this side of the room. It's very calm.
Compared to the other side.
Compared to that side, everything's gone quiet. Like Holly's very quiet.
Yeah.
Is this unusually quiet?
Yeah, this is really strange.
Time.
So for us, it's been quite a strange investigation because we've got the power draining on all those devices, and then things have just been so quiet, apart from these two, which have now become really quiet. Now we've moved over to this side of it.
This side. Are sometimes the words very connected? What comes through, or sometimes?
Sometimes, and if you can get them correlating on the different devices, that's really good. Like we've had teacher on that one and then this one.
So I've had teacher a lot. What did that say?
I'm going to put ghost box on.
Ghost
It's
box.
just told me to put ghost box on, so I'm putting it on.
It's come through with ghost box.
Ghost box.
Does that come through at all?
I don't think we've ever had that come through.
Do you want to talk to us?
Who's present? Who's the main head?
Main head.
You asked us to put the ghost box on. We've put the ghost box on. Would you like to say anything?
Christ.
That was very clearly Christ. Is that
prosecuted? Small group.
say prosecute?
Yeah, something about prosecute me or something like that.
Prosecute's an interesting one.
Was your prosecutor here?
No, actually.
I saved it. What we said.
Yeah, good.
Did you go on trial here?
My love.
Still something. And the rat.
And the rat. That's it, and the rat.
Either that or I'm the rat.
And the rat.
You're a witness.
Witness.
Yes.
Witness?
That was a definite, wasn't it?
Now very clearly witness. So we've had innocent, ones that have been of interest because this used to be a courtroom for petty sessions.
Yes.
Innocent, witness, prosecuted, innocent just again as I was chattering away. And
We've had time as well, haven't we?
time.
Yeah.
Ghost box was one that you've never had
box?
before.
Never had ghost
Never had before, and that
It's
was odd.
unusual to come up with two words as well.
Yeah, so it's unusual for two words to come through, let alone
Yeah.
ghost box. So we've now moved location, or as in to another room. We're still in Hedon Town Hall, we're now in the Mayor's Parlour. So, we've now got similar equipment, we're still joined by Boo Buddy.
Yep.
We've got some K2. Holly, you also have the, remind me again, the piece of equipment.
The spirit box.
Spirit box. So you're potentially doing that for a bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we've got the cat's eyes on the floor as well. Cat's eyes? Cat's balls
cat
on the
balls.
floor. And they will react if there's any vibration, so I'll keep my feet as
Yeah.
still as I can. So I may have a name or, well, particularly one name that might be of interest in this room, but if we want to start off by asking something general.
Yeah, so if there's anybody here who wants to talk to us, come forward. You can interact with any of the equipment, give the cat balls a shove.
Got yeah.
Got a yeah. Does that mean there's someone here?
So it's gone quiet with the equipment again, hasn't it?
Is this, so I ask again, is this actually kind of unusually quiet, the equipment?
No, actually, for these two pieces of equipment, when it is quiet, it's normal. So what we were getting in there, where it was just
Constant
listing things off, is actually unusual for us to get. If there's anybody here who wants to talk to us, come through on the radio and Holly will be able to translate. Locked up.
Locked up. Now that actually, as you all come, maybe giving the game away here, locked up is very relevant. Were you, and also can't get out.
Can't get out.
Were you locked up in here? Were you a prisoner here?
Is that pennies?
Pennies? Interesting. Pennies.
Jail?
Jail.
Jail's very interesting. So jail. Were you in the jail here? Because yes, spoiler alert, the last room we go into was actually once a jail.
Okay.
And the bars on the windows are the ones that were used as like the lockup cell.
Right.
Is there somebody moving around again?
So you feel that there's someone moving around in front of you?
There's a cool breeze.
And there's a cool breeze here.
As I'm sat here. Same feeling that I had in there.
As if,
As though there's somebody walking around. I can feel the floor bouncing.
as if you
But I
feel
can differentiate between one of you guys.
one of you guys, yeah. I mean, to be fair, no one's really been walking around this area either.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next location, the loft. But
Really weird.
what did I ask?
He's
Can
knocking.
you finish that? Alright. So we're going to move on to the next location.
Yep.
Jess, we're going now. If you can, before we go, could you let us know by touching this bear, please? Okay, so we'll end there, we'll now move on to the loft
Okay.
then. So now we've come up to the loft, and while we've been here, we've had a few interesting words along the way. We've had Abaddon, which in the biblical term, it's a Hebrew word meaning a angel of the abyss, I believe it is, or a place of destruction. We've also had some interesting ones that are a bit unrelated, completely different themes now. We've had things like throat, and in all honesty, there's no names or such that I associate with this part of the building. So if we have no knowledge, for example, of what might be here, would a simple question be a great place to start then? Should we start with asking a few questions, a few generic ones then?
Yeah. If there's anybody here, if you want to come and talk to us, got a couple of devices. So Gemma, who's behind the camera, has got a couple of the dictionaries coming through, so they can interact with them. Or we've got the K2, and we can do yes/no answers with this. So if they make it light up, we can use that as a yes, and then if they step away, we can have it as a no. So we can do yes/no answers. So if they're wanting to interact with us, then they can come and step forward. And for a loft, it doesn't actually feel that bad.
I know what you mean. I think one of the scariest things is the amount of cobwebs that are kind of around us. I don't mind spiders, I've been bitten by them 3 times when trying to catch them, so...
What about doing it in the dark?
We'll try it in the dark, yeah, because if we can't see anything, we're letting them know we're in the dark.
Want to come and light up one of the green lights?
Is there anyone here who wants to come talk to us? You are safe. We just want to speak to you. What's quite interesting to me is that outside of particular rooms, it was saying I can't get out, I'm stuck, jail. And now we're out of the rooms that were related to that, so out of the council chambers and such. We're not getting that. Gemma, if you're right to turn the lights back on now, please. Just takes a second. Let there be light. How are you feeling in here?
It's just down this side, so it was this side and then just there.
Do you often feel that way in
No.
investigation? Interesting.
But I was more paranoid about it being spider. If it's a ghost, then that's fine.
I mean, you'll come more to the things at the end, but in my research, nothing happened in this room. And no, there was nothing related to a hanging, nothing related to a death, or even to the loft in general.
Yeah.
This room definitely seems very empty. All right. Well, we are sorry, but if you do want to show yourself, we've given you a lot of chances. Please, before we go, we just want to see if there's anyone here. Considering pessimistic, I think this room's not very. I don't think there's much going on in this room. Shall we? And with that, we have 15 minutes up. Shall we move on to possibly the last location of here today? We'll move now on to the other room, which is One History Jail Cell. Yeah, we'll move on to there. So now finally we're in, well, what actually used to be the holding cell. It used to be a lockup, as you could probably tell actually by some of the bars and the type of door. So perhaps this might be a good place maybe to ask relevant questions like that, and maybe explain some of the words we've been hearing. We've now got the Mel REM, and the Mel REM is like the REM pod, but it also has a temperature gauge, yes? So, we're going to now bully the other person who's upstairs, aren't we? So what shall we ask the spirits to do, if they are here?
Well, we've got one person left out of the group, and they're upstairs on their own. So, we can ask them to do some knocking. Sneak. Or even touch her.
So we can
See if she can have her hair pulled or anything like that.
So I don't get in trouble, I'll let you do that. So if you want to go ahead.
Okay, so if there's anybody in this building, there's a lady upstairs on her own. Go and pull her hair. This is where we'll hear a scream.
Or move an object.
Move an object. I think there is a K2 up there still set up.
Yes, I think there's two.
Go and flash it.
If there is someone in here, a spirit in here who can't get out, can you let us know you're here?
Everything has just gone quiet.
Everything has gone deathly quiet. Can you move something to let us know you're here, please? Well, we are now approaching the end of the investigation. Is there anything you want to say before we leave this room and go back upstairs for the recap? Do we want to say a word as in to say thank you for having?
Yeah, we just thank them for. I don't know about you guys, but I felt a little bit like things have just watched. And stood back and watched.
So if you want to say something,
So
perhaps?
we just want to thank them for any interaction we've had and for allowing us to investigate here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Right, let's finish then. So that concludes our investigation here at Hedon Town Hall. So when you first walked into here, what were some of the first impressions you had?
I thought it was actually quite a grand building.
Quite a grand building.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Was there anything that implied, or was there any time that you felt there was something odd, or something perhaps that made you feel how you would feel if you went somewhere haunted?
Probably in the mayor's parlour, it felt a little bit like there was static in there. But other than that, nothing really
Jumped out?
Yeah.
And to clarify as well, you had no idea where you were coming before here. You've not done any research on here before, have you?
No.
And you have never visited even Hedon before, have you?
No, not at all.
So, before I say some of the macabre research, what are some of the standout moments for you from today's investigation?
Well, I think for us, when set up, we had a lot of battery drainage from some of his equipment, so we've not been able to use everything. Some of it didn't work to start with, and then all of a sudden started working again. But it's what came through on the Ovilus and the Hexcom. That's quite interesting for us.
Was there any particular words that stood out to you then?
Yeah,
from
so we've got quite a lot of prosecute, I served him, witness, innocent. We also got court as well. So quite a lot to do with, like felon came up from downstairs as well. Guilty. So yeah, we've got quite a few like that, as well as penny and coin coming through.
So in relation to, for example, the more criminal terminology that came through, was it the location that made that interesting? Why? Was it because it was in, for example, here what used to be a courtroom?
Yeah, just in here. So
Just
that's
in
where it was quite interesting, because only the words came through in this room.
Yeah.
And in the mayor's parlour. Anywhere else, it went really quiet.
Yeah, but it was quite interesting that in here, where there's a courtroom, we heard criminal terminology.
Yeah.
Pennies is quite an interesting one as well, because the Hedon had its own mint and it made silver pennies, and obviously penny throwing is a tradition here at Hedon as well. So this building actually, according to some, may have some paranormal activity in. For example, someone who has done paranormal investigations before, when she walked past this building, having never seen the building, didn't even know what this building actually was used for, put her hand on the door and said, "There is a man in here." And that was actually earlier today. And lo and behold, of course, this is the day when we were going to do a paranormal investigation. And this woman had no idea about the stories of Hedon or of this building. And so in order to be drawn to it in such a spiritual way, you could infer that she felt something from this building. Now, there are some relevant names that have come up while we've been here today. Now, if I'm not mistaken, has the word John come up
Yep.
while we've been here? So, there was, according to local legend, a story about a monk called John Coomber. And John Coomber was a monk, according to the stories, who was convinced by a fellow nun who wanted to become abbess when there was a hospital on Station Road, that John should go and kill the abbess, so this nun called Ruth could become the abbess and take her place. They were both eventually found out, and Ruth was imprisoned, and John, who couldn't deal with the guilt, actually hanged himself. And it is said by some that John and Ruth are both seen actually sometimes walking through Hedon. Moving on to perhaps more the true crimes now, the ones that definitely did happen. I mentioned the name William Marshall. William Marshall was an alderman, and he died, and he was quite a revered alderman, and his name came up in a lot of the local press, and of course he would have been heavily involved with the building. And then the number 8 came up, and that's why I picked it up, because there was a 8-year-old child called Robert Gibson who actually drowned in the Haven. Now the Haven is the waterways that connect to the Humber Estuary. And Robert Gibson was, of course, 8 years old when he died in Hedon. And it wasn't to do with the building, but of course, when I saw 8, I thought, that's the only connection I can make. The final one was the Edith and Ronnie connection. Now, a lady named Edith Singleton drank what was known as carbolic acid after finding out that her husband had been routinely cheating on her. And her supposed last words were handing her husband her baby and saying, "Look after Ronnie." And so when we had mum or mummy or child, the only connection I could make was to that story of Edith, whose last words were, look after Ronnie, to her husband, as she then took her own life. So this building itself, I've not actually come across any macabre incidents to do with this building. A lot of the names that have come up would be more to do with Hedon itself. And so to me, I think there have been some very interesting moments when we've had particular focus on criminal terminology in here in the mayor's parlour, but nowhere else. But on the flip side, I didn't feel anything at all in the loft or in the lockup.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the verdict that if I was a gambling man, I would bet that this place wasn't haunted. I would bet that there was no restless spirits here. What about you?
Yeah, probably the same, to be honest. Maybe what we call residual.
Oh, what does that mean?
So residual, it's just residual energy, so that it's not a spirit that necessarily will interact with you. So it could well just be similar to like the Roman soldiers in York.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a replay of
So
history.
there could potentially be not an active spirit in here who needs closure or moving on, but perhaps, as you say, because of the amount of lives these walls have seen, that could have made an imprint.
Yep. Or something was just watching and biding its time.
Perhaps something was just watching. Well, we shall see in the future, and perhaps we will find more past and passed away.